everyone, it's Jill from the Cozy Company, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to increase and how to decrease while finger knitting. So a lot of increases and a lot of decreases happen when you are using a stuffed animal pattern or a pillow pattern, anything when you are working in the round, meaning that when you are working in a circle shape, as opposed to when you're just making a blanket. You don't usually do increases or decreases while making a blanket. So to start first, we're going to show you how to decrease. So decreasing involves 2 loops. So as you can see here, I've already done a few rows, but I'm going to go ahead and find my next 2 loops. So this is the last loop I just pulled up where my working yarn is. I'm going to go ahead and find my next 2 loops. So there's 2 types of decreases. There's a decrease left over right, which you may see as LOR, or there's a decrease right over left where you will see it as ROL. So the only difference between those decreases is which loop lays on top. So I'm going to go ahead and work with these 2 loops where I am going to first decrease left over right, or LOR, where I take my left loop of the 2, so left and right, and I put it over my right loop. So again, I'm going to take the left loop, I'm going to put my finger through, and then I'm going to put it on top of the right loop and put my finger through. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my working yarn and I'm going to pull up a loop through both. So those 2 loops have now become 1, and we decreased by putting the left loop over the right loop and then pulling a loop up through both. As you can imagine, a decrease right over left, or ROL, is the same thing but reversed. So with my next 2 loops, I have my left loop and my right loop. I'm going to go ahead and take my right loop, put my finger through. I'm going to put it over my left loop and then put my finger through my left loop. So now they are both on my finger. And I'm going to take my working yarn and I'm going to pull up a loop through both. So those loops also now become 1. You can see the difference in the decrease and the decrease left over right and the decrease right over left by which way the yarn is pulling. So right here you can see the yarn is going this way and my decrease right over left is going this way. What I had was 9 loops, and because I decreased left over right and then right over left, I now have 7 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, alternately, you may see some patterns call for increases. So I'm just going to go ahead and knit a few rows so I am away from those decreases. So how to increase, you want to find the space between the last loop you pulled up and your next loop. So instead of knitting through my next loop, I'm going to go ahead and actually pull these a little bit so I can find the space in between the loop where I just knit and my next loop, and this is where I'm going to knit. So I'm going to go ahead and put my finger through that space between the loop that I just knit and my next loop, and I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to pull up a loop there. So as you can see, where was just 2 loops, I now have 3 loops and I've increased. From there, depending on the pattern, you'll probably just continue knitting the next loop like normal, like this. But as you can see, where now I had 7 loops, I should now have 8 loops because I've increased. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that is how you increase and decrease left over right and right over left. But if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Thanks for subscribing.